we got to frame the three core issues, and you all know what those are: workforce development, education, police, and community relations. Most of you will be broken out by focus area. They will be education, philanthropy, public safety, healthcare, advocacy, service, faith-based, government, workforce development. We will have facilitators at each of your tables to help guide a discussion on a few questions. And we are looking for scribes at those tables, people that don't mind taking notes. And we also need spokespersons to report out at the end of the session. I don't know exactly what rooms you'll be in, but what I'd like to do is, for all those who are facilitating, Latrina, don't you leave, for all those that are facilitating city staff that are facilitating processes, so that you know who they are, can you please raise your hands if you're helping, okay? Look around. So just look to those people who have their hands raised to ask questions about what to do. The breakout sessions will be based upon three simple questions. And you're called the community of professionals. You're the community leaders, stakeholders, etc. But it's worded community of professionals. So really, there's three questions. What are you doing? What are you doing to help young males of color around priority issues? What's the landscape? What's the boilerplate already? 2, what can the city do to help? The city's never here to reinvent the wheel. We believe in efficiency on very limited dollars, your tax dollars. So what can we do to facilitate and to help or enhance what's already being done, or even make it better? As the mayor had said, he can knock on doors to foundations, to corporations, to businesses. We know where the money's at. So it's just a matter of the political heavyweightedness to be able to extract some monies or resources or in-kind to make it happen in our communities. And believe me, the powers that be that have that money, they have a very vested interest in what goes on and what wants to be done. They want to help. This summit is to be able to help address how to help, what exactly needs to be done. And the third is, how will the professional community measure success? We're looking at metrics, measurables. Anyone that gives money, you ever hear the expression, nobody wants to throw good money to bad? You've heard that before. Many organizations have heard that before. Well, if you have measurables and metrics, you at least have something on the table to show how has that organization spent the money. In other words, it's a response to those that give and want to help. What happened to the money? How is there a measurable? What could that be? So you all have to decide, what is that? Help us to be able to prove that indeed there is substance behind the charitable giving to help communities, particularly to help young black males. So again, and I have to say my own little 2 cents, think outside the box. Think outside of where you're at. What would you like to see based upon what you've already seen? We're not looking for political correctness. We're not looking for necessarily what is feasible. We're looking at what would work if we could make it, if you could make it happen. So let's think outside the box. Everything's on the table. Everything. You know, you want to say something, you have an idea that's crazy, say it. But let's get it on the table at least, because what becomes of not feasible or unfeasible can be feasible. People can make it feasible. And lastly, I just have to very selfishly, I don't care, I'll get yelled at, I don't care. But at a certain age, you just don't care. But I do have 2 things. When we talk about police-community relations, my pet peeve is that, and Dr. Lane, I don't know if Dr. Lane is here, the superintendent of schools. Dr. Lane is here. Don't yell at me, Dr. Lane. But I really believe that the curricula within primary schools and middle schools, we have to start early, needs to be one where we're teaching about police-community relations. They need to understand what policing is all about. They need to know what the rules are, so when they see somebody in the community down, they at least understand what is going on and what could have prompted that incident. They need to learn, the police need to learn children and the community at a young age needs to know them as they grow up. Just like early childhood education, start early. Start not at the tail end, start early, as well as develop better police-community relations. So I believe in curricula within the schools, some kind of way. And I think that was another one, but okay, mine goes, it comes and goes, so I forgot what the other one is. I'll say it at the table myself, okay, when I remember it. So again, please look to people who had raised their hands as to where to go, and so that you can convene in your discussion groups.